Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start Chapter 6, a one of I have 90 billion licking gold coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Chapter 1027. So I'm not the only one you're talking to. Time flew by, and soon it was already past 6 p.m. Wei Xiling brought Qin Yuan to a high-end restaurant. Maybe it was because she felt he had done so much for her today. Taking him to a place that only cost a couple hundred yuan for a meal just felt too stingy. So this time, she finally decided to splurge. They arrived in the Porsche 918 and dined at a fancy spot where the bill came to over 3,000 yuan. That was half a month's pocket money for her. Normally, when she treated someone to a meal, she was never this generous. At most, she'd treat them to Hadaleo. After all, she was still young and had always been pretty frugal and focused on her studies. But now, she didn't even know if Qin Yuan was a good influence or a bad one. Maybe he'd already ruined her. Oh well, worst case, she could just sell those 23 stores he gave her and retire early. Qin Yuan ji, let's go watch a movie after dinner, okay? She took the initiative to suggest it. Sure. Qin Yuan nodded casually. He had nothing better to do anyway. Watching a movie wasn't a bad way to kill time. I'll go buy the tickets. Wei Xiling was super eager. After watching him crush that business negotiation earlier with such precision and presence, she had a whole new perspective. He clearly wasn't just some spoiled rich kid who spent all day chasing girls. With the size of Yen Group's operations, there was no way his success was just luck. He had to work harder than anyone else. Maybe he spent 12, 14, 16 hours a day grinding, but you'd never know. For someone like him to take time out of his day to watch a movie with her, that was a luxury in itself. Qin Yuan ji, your phone kept buzzing during dinner. Why didn't you check or reply to any messages? She asked casually. Oh, it's just some business partners. There were too many messages to reply one by one, so I figured I'd just ignore them all. Qin Yuan told the truth. To him, those business partners were just the usual simps he was farming. Even if he didn't respond, Wang Kai would automatically reply for him. He didn't need to lift a finger. But in Wei Xiling's eyes, that was major points. A man this accomplished, who probably had billion yuan projects popping off at any moment, actually ignored all his messages just to spend time with her? That meant she really mattered to him. The little details always mattered most. It was the kind of thing that left a mark on a girl's heart. Wei Xiling, affection +1. Wei Xiling, affection +1. Current affection, 92. The movie ran for 2.5 hours. It was your typical teen romance, the kind young girls love. The female lead was the once famous actress, Jiang Minying. But honestly, she was a bit too old to play a high schooler now. Even though her acting was great, the role just didn't suit her anymore. On top of that, she'd been caught up in a few scandals lately. The production value was low, the plot was a mess, it was a total disaster. What the hell is this trash? I only came because of Jiang Minying's name, but this? Ugh, is this what she's doing now? Falling this far? This is so cringe. The dialogue's so awkward it makes my toes curl. People in the audience couldn't stop complaining. Some even got up and left halfway through. It felt like Jiang Minying was going through a really rough patch in her career. By the time the movie ended, it was already 10:30 at night. Wei Xiling was starting to feel nervous. It's already this late. What if Qin Yuan asks me not to go home tonight? Would I be able to say no? She looked at his handsome side profile, then shook her head hard. She had a bad feeling she wouldn't be able to escape tonight. But, let's go. I'll take you home. It's getting late. Qin Yuan's voice was calm. Wei Xiling quickly nodded. She breathed a soft sigh of relief, like a little bunny escaping danger. But deep down, she felt a strange sense of disappointment. It hit her all at once. Wait, was I actually hoping he'd ask me to stay? What the heck? Ugh, so embarrassing. Wei Xiling, it's only been a few days. And you're already thinking about giving in to a guy? What's wrong with you? How can you be so shameless? Are you seriously that easy? She slapped her hands over her face. Her cheeks were burning red, her whole body feeling warm and fuzzy. After dropping her off, Qin Yuan made a call to Yang Sison. Hello, boss. Any instructions? Quick question. How's Jiang Minying doing lately? Boss, you heard about that? Yeah, she's kind of hit rock bottom. Her popularity's nowhere near what it used to be. The film market is brutal, especially for actresses. Once you age past a certain point, You're no longer marketable for youthful romance films. She was a legend back in the day, basically everyone's first crush. But now, she's stuck with the wrong team and has lost her reputation. Find a good script for her. I'll act alongside her myself. Boss, are you trying to make her popular again? Just do what I say. Understood, boss. Anyone the smoke boss decided to support always rose to the top again. Looks like it was time to patch things up with the once untouchable movie Queen Jiang. Meanwhile, back home, Wei Xiling flopped onto her bed, kicking her legs in the air, giggling and squealing like a kid. 1 second blushing, the next grinning from ear to ear, then back to overthinking. Qin Yuan was stuck in her head. His face, his voice, his smile. She couldn't stop thinking about him. Why am I feeling like this? Everything's playing out exactly like I planned. I did make him spend time, money, and effort on me. But why do I feel like I never had control of the situation? I knew he was a player, so why does my heart still race when I think about him? For a second there, I actually didn't care whether he's a player or not, because he spent so much on me anyway. Wait, am I just pretending to be a classy, elegant girl when deep down I'm a green tea B***TCH? Then she remembered that message she sent to Xianyuan Duo a few days ago. And just like that, it felt like she'd slapped herself across the face. And she kinda liked it. She pulled up the message again. So fake. So calculated. So T. But I didn't expect this. I didn't expect to actually fall for this guy. In the beginning, I just wanted to play him. After thinking it over, Wei Xiling decided. She needed to come clean about her feelings. Duo, are you there? She messaged Xianyuan Duo. I'm here. What's up, Xiling? Oh, nothing. I just wanted to ask, has Qin Yuan messaged you in the past few days? She asked, trying to sound casual. Why do you ask? That was kind of personal. Was she overstepping? Just curious. Yeah, we've chatted. Qin Yuan senpai isn't quite what I expected. I really admire him. Wei Xiling's eyes widened as she read the message. You jerk. Chapter 1028, The Business Proposal. Wei Xiling was so furious, she was practically fuming. Ugh, so annoying. Wei Xiling, affection -1. Wei Xiling, affection -1. Current affection, 90. So you really are a player. I was actually starting to feel a little guilty for taking all those gifts from you. Thought maybe I'd gone too far. Maybe I was being a bit of a green tea B***TCH. But now? Huh. You totally deserve someone like me. Since you clearly don't take relationships seriously, then I won't either. We're just playing, right? Bring it on. I've got nothing to lose. She clenched her fists. Earlier she still had some soft-hearted thoughts, but now? Forget it. You've got money? Well, let's see how much you can really bleed. A bottomless pit. Let's go. Duo, you're way too naive. Just a few sweet words, and that guy's got you all starry-eyed. But I have to tell you the truth. Do you know what Qin Yuan and I did today? He took me to a Porsche dealership. Then he straight up bought 23 franchises and gifted them to me. While he was taking me out, buying me all kinds of stuff, he was still running off to flirt with you. This guy is not serious. He's literally eating from one bowl while eyeing the whole damn buffet. What does he think he is? Some emperor with a harem? Today he flips this girl's tag. Tomorrow he flips that once? And don't even get me started. He's got that rich girl from Shanghai, Qin Wushuang, hovering around him too. Their relationship is sketchy as hell. Duo, you have to be careful around him. She fired off 6 messages in a row. It was harsh, sure, but she felt like Duo needed to wake up and see Qin Yuan's true colors before it was too late. What she didn't expect was for Xianyuan Duo to be completely unfazed. In fact, Duo knew far more about Qin Yuan than Xiling did. The fact that he gave you so many stores just proves one thing. Qin Yuan is someone who knows how to repay kindness. If it weren't for the Wei family's support, Feituan Capital wouldn't be where it is today. A drop of kindness repaid with a fountain. That kind of character is rare. You, on the other hand, think way too highly of yourself. Not only are you delusional, but now you're biting the hand that fed you. Ignorant, greedy, utterly laughable. Duo had seen straight through her. You talk like you're looking out for me, but in the end, you're just pissed he's not focused on you anymore. And you don't know anything about who Qin Yuan really is. If I'm not mistaken, Qin Yuan might actually be a legendary Tier 7 cultivator. That kind of strength means a lifespan of over 500 years. Ordinary mortals wouldn't even register on his radar. Are you seriously that full of yourself? Duo couldn't even be bothered to reply. But Xiling kept sending messages. Duo? What's wrong? Why aren't you replying? Look, I know this is hard to hear, but you've got to face the truth. Finally, Duo responded. I already know. You don't need to worry about me. Even if everything you said is true, I don't care. What? Xiling stared at the screen, stunned. She thought Duo would be outraged. Instead, she got that? Already? She's already fallen that deep into Qian Yuan's trap? Oh my god, this man is terrifying. Just thinking about her past 2 days with him, she had almost fallen, too. She couldn't lie to herself. Qian Yuan was dangerous. Too charismatic. Too alluring. Once you got a taste of him, it was hard to walk away. But Xiling gritted her teeth. She wasn't going to lose. The only way to win against a player like that was not to care. Don't fall, don't get serious, and you'll never lose. Think you can mess with me just because I'm young? I'll make sure you regret ever provoking me. You messed with the wrong girl, and I'm going to become your worst nightmare. She opened her laptop, started gathering resources. Over the next couple of hours, she drafted an entire business development plan. Her idea? Something bold. Currently, the auto market was a mess. Poor customer service, shady practices, and no real unified standards. So, she decided to consolidate everything. She would launch a massive 6S superstore chain that offered everything under one roof. New car sales, parts, after-sales, customer service, used car trading, car wash, repairs, rentals, mortgages, drivers for drunk customers, even R&D. It was ambitious, borderline crazy. But now she had a legit reason to ask Qian Yuan for money. Because if you just casually asked to borrow money, he wouldn't give you much. Even if you said it was for a house, maybe you'd get 100 million at best. But with a formal business plan? Totally different story. She could say the company had global ambitions, that they just needed a bit more funding to take over the market. Then she could ask for as much as she wanted. And no matter how ridiculous it sounded, it would still make sense. Looking at the business proposal she'd spent 2 hours working on, she nodded, satisfied. With something this big, asking for 10 billion isn't unreasonable, right? And if the investment fails? Not my problem. Let's see how you handle this, Qian Yuan. Meanwhile, Qian Yuan had just returned to the Longting villa. The moment he stepped in, he saw Qin Wushuang feeding De Huang. Woof, woof. The dog instantly perked up and sprinted toward him, tail wagging like crazy. Seriously, you heartless mutt. He abandoned you all day and didn't give you a single bite to eat. I feed you, and you still run to him the second he walks in. Qin Wushuang's voice was laced with fake annoyance. She shot Qian Yuan a look, big, pouty eyes full of mock resentment, like he had done something terribly wrong. Shuang, what's wrong? Nothing. I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to bed. She turned and headed upstairs without another word. Qian Yuan stood there, confused. Why is she suddenly mad? Is it that time of the month? Just then, she stopped at the stairs. Oh right, tomorrow I have a research seminar at Yenjing University. Will you come with me? Sure. No problem. Qian Yuan nodded. Come to think of it, he'd been in Yenjing for quite a while now, but still hadn't gotten around to visiting Yin University. The next morning, Wei Xiling showed up at a print shop. She printed out the finished copy of her business plan. Just then, a message popped up in the group chat. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.